Boom, ba ba do 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 do. It's not quite the nighttime, right? What's going on here? All right, there we go. It's not quite the nighttime. Listen, I'm Kurt. Usually we do this at night, and now that the time has changed and the sun is starting to set a little bit later, and today, out of usually we will do our Wednesday night live at 7 o'clock, but I have a dinner I've got to go to, and so I've moved it up forward to try and make sure that we do get it in, because it is so important that we do this every single Wednesday night. Listen, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and you are here for Wednesday night live or Wednesday afternoon live, and I am really happy that you're with us. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. So, let me just double check something here before we get started. We'll let anyone else kind of jump on board here. Okay. I'm gonna check. I gotta look up one thing here. It's always when you go live and you are just kind of dead air. But actually, it's okay. It's okay to have dead air right now, because I can see there might be some buffering going on with YouTube, and for whatever reason, when we start, that goes away pretty quick. So I'm sure from your guys' point of view, that must be drive you crazy. So let's just see here. So we will. All right. Hello, Shelby. How's Diego doing? Oh, how is Diego doing? I can't see anything. I just see a black screen. What? Leah, do you see a black screen, or are you good? What happened here? Okay. I want to make sure, because I think I'm okay. I think Leah... Hello, Kurt. I've been brave here. Yes, you have. Marianne, how are you doing? Hey, how's the view? Can you guys see everything? Because Shelby says that she's just seen a black screen. Can everyone else see what's going on if I draw a smiley face? Is that showing up? Somebody give me a shout out in the chat and let us know. Then we'll get started. But, okay. I am so glad that you all are here. Nope, Diego's doing wonderful. Excellent. I'm good. Okay. All right, Shelby, I don't know why you're seeing a black screen, but everyone else seems to be doing okay. So, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't know. So we're going to get started, and hopefully, Shelby, your screen will take care of yourself. So, let's get this adjusted a little bit. Okay, great. So let's talk about doing some portrait drawing here. And I want to... okay, great. You see all. Excellent. Marianne sees all. All right, excellent. So let's go back to the basics here, because the basics are so important. I'm going to take away that face here for a second. And let's just review kind of how we would start drawing a portrait. And I want to bring you to a simple way of doing it. All right, so let's just start with a couple different ovals there. Yep. Just get something down there on your page. And then on this one, let's do a center line going off in that direction. Oh. And then on this one, do a center line going off in this direction. And then do another one over here. Okay? So this is the center line that's going to go right down the center of your nose there. So let's call this A, B, and C. All right. So as I do this, I could refer to each one by letter. So in A, let's say the person is looking up. So let's just kind of draw an eye line like this. And then B, let's say the person's looking down. So we're going to curve it slightly so it's looking down. And then in C, we will get them looking almost straight at us, okay? Let's come back to A. Let's just make this simple. Let's just we're going to make some silly faces here, but at least this will get us lined up in the some of the correct proportions. Let's drop a nose down on B. And then we're going to drop a nose down on C. We'll drop a little mouth now. Mouth is going to come down here. Mouth is going to come down here. And the mouth is going to come over here. When I look at A and like this is going to be my eye line, right above it is your brow line, okay? And on either side of your brow line, you're going to have these little parts that are temples, the temples, okay? So, oops, they're going to be right about here, all right? So let's just kind of trim off the side of our face there. Trim off the side of our face there. And trim off the side of our face over there. You see that? Then this angle is going to come down ever so slightly. This one's going to come up just a little bit. And then this one's going to kind of come right across. Look at that. That buffering's gone. So it should be smooth now, right? Okay, we're going to come down on the side like this. Come down on the side like this. Come down on the side like that. Right underneath the mouth, let's go ahead and draw like where we believe the chin is going to go. Oh, look at that. I'm going to plug this in there. Okay. And then let's get this jawline in here. And usually if this is the mouth, I'm on A now. You know, it's going to, the corner of the jaw is going to line up with that where that mouth is. So right here, this is going to circle around here. This is going to come around like this. We could drop a little, the eyes usually line up with the corners of the mouth, the pupils. Typically your ears will line up with the top of your eye to the bottom of the mouth. And some of these measurements, they're They're going to be different depending on the person. And if I go too fast, just give me a halt. Just say, hey, slow down there. All right, so when we draw a nose, we want to start off with this, it's like a keystone shape. Okay. And then we could bring it straight out like this. And then it's going to come in, just like that, something like that. And we'll do it over here as well. Keystone shape, right between the eyes. This is it's almost like a man's tie. So if you were to think of this like this, keystone shape for the third eye, right up here, okay? Then it kind of can flare out a little bit, and then it comes underneath. From a side view, it's going to look like this. And we'll put one up here as well. You can even add your sides. These are just to give you kind of a rough idea of all the parts. We have our cheeks. Keeping it really loose here. And then the barrel of the mouth. Okay. Usually you could, this is going to have a bit of a curve there that goes over the barrel of the mouth, and that's really important because when you put your lips in, you want to follow the lips. The lips are not flat. They follow the curve or the ball of the mouth. You see that? Eyebrows are going to be around here. And then when you look at the head dead on, so let's just, there's our head straight on. There's our nose, like a tie, like a men's tie. There's our mouth, okay? The pupils line up with the corners of the mouth. See, look, I'll show you. See that? Pupils line up, and usually the width, there's like a third eye, or the amount of space between the eyes is usually a third eye. Okay, that's how you can space your eyes pretty good. So in this guy over here, I'm just going to draw the eyeball right now. You see that? And this guy as well. But, you know, usually, as long as I get that corner of the mouth generally lined up with the pupils, it usually works pretty good. Top of the ear usually goes to the eyeball. We talked about that. It could come all the way down to the mouth or to the lower part of the nose. when you draw the wings of the nose, usually the edges of the nose line up with the corner of the eye. How we doing? Am I going too fast? Just tell me to slow down. So that basically is your general proportions. So let's go ahead and move over to our photograph. Let's get over to our picture here and see what we can do, okay? This is a lovely photo. I'm going to just get it down just a little bit here. So let's start off with a sphere. And one thing that you can't see me do is when I'm starting, I like to try and draw more from my elbow versus my wrist. Like if I was drawing from my wrist, it'd be like this. But if I'm drawing from my elbow, I'm moving my whole arm. And that will actually create a much more smoother line. When you get into the detail, yes, you're going to go to your wrist. But at the very beginning stages, if you get in the habit of drawing back from your elbow, you will find that your drawings have much more life and that they are looser. Okay, so we have our sphere here. Next thing we want to determine is like if there was a post in the middle of her head, what is the 2D axis? So the 2D axis is going to be in this direction. You see that? Oh, that might be a little bit off. Slightly tilted. If we come over here now to the center line of our face is going to follow that. And I'm going to go in that direction right there. Now, I could tell that we're looking up at her because we really see the underside of her nose. So we're going to want her eye line is going to be something like this. And then let's add another mask down here, almost like you know, I was talking, if you were part of the daily draw this morning, we were talking about adding a clay or adding a secondary mass to help give us a slight idea of where that lower jaw is. Right here at her temple. The temple is like right at the edges, right there at her eyebrow. Let me point that out to you so you can see it easily. It's going to be right about there. And it's right there. You see that? So we're going to look for the side of her skull. Just like what we did when we cut off the, on that last little drawing that we did. See? Okay, let's get our ear in, and we're just going to rough it in right now, okay? I'm going to come over here just with a light angle to kind of help me guide me to see her right side of her face. And I'm going to put her visor in. The visor is the top part of her eye. So watch what I do here. I'm going to just come in like this. And then this is going to come down like this. I remember when I first started trying to draw portraitures, this part was a little confusing to me to try and get an idea about this visor idea. But it was really good when you started really to start to see the construction to get comfortable with it. So this center line is going to follow the surface of that. It's about where her chin is going to fall. Might be a little bit longer than that, but that will, we can make a slight adjustment there. And then she has this beautiful jawline. Wow. So I'm going to drop down from the ear. Okay. How's that look? Let's see, I'm looking, squinting my eyes. All right, this is going to come around just a little bit there. And then let's get this neck in here, because this neck is going to help tell us more of the story. So, and when I'm drawing the neck on this side, one thing that I'm using is negative space. And what I mean by that is I'm looking at this shape. You see this? I'm looking at this shape here. All right? So that's what I'm looking at to try and help me determine if I've got that neck right. Making some adjustments. And then let's get this other neck in. Now, the other negative space I'm looking at is this. What's the width of that? You see that? So this, what we're looking at right now, this basic model of your head construction, this is so paramount. You should really get this down in your head. These at this stage, if you can look at a photograph and get this basic construction down with the head, man, this is like setting a firm foundation to build upon. Okay, because at this point now you can start adding all the different elements to really get this thing to look good. So this right here is your basic foundational head that you just want to get really, really good at, okay? This is where the idea of construction leads to lightness. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this, let's start with our nose here. So that's going to be our keystone shape. All right, that nose is going to sit right there, I believe. That's the underside. Oops. My keystone might have been too far out there, but that's okay. Again, I'm not trying to make it look like her. I'm only trying to get the construction down. Barrel of the mouth, and since this girl is quite young, the younger you are, the less of the barrel of the mouth will show, because over your lifetime, of course, you're smiling all the time, like this. And so the more you smile, the more defined these lines get. But when you're young, you haven't been Ugh, I'm late. Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry, Jamie. So sorry, my friend. When you get older, you're going to be smiling a lot more throughout your life, hopefully. And so these lines are going to show up more, okay? All right, so I just went in and got the center part of the nose there, and boy, you know, I totally forgot. I forgot what that's called. The nostrils, the one nostril on the side that we are looking is going to be bigger because it's a 3/4 view than the one on the right side. The septum, is that right? I might be wrong on that, but I can't remember. Comes out right like that, or the philtrum or septum. I can't remember what that is called right there. All right, let's get those top lips in and follow the curve here, right? There was a conversation. Oh, look at those lips. I made them kind of too big. There was a conversation in class or on Facebook group about oh no, it just escaped me. I'll think about it. Oh, I know. They were talking about drawing the feet of a bird and some of the difficulty, and I had commented that if you find an area that is difficult for you, a lot of times your habit will be to rush over it and never kind of revisit it. And you're like, I just can't draw this, or I can't draw that. But that's actually a good sign if you don't know how to draw something, to pause and then go back and learn how to draw that one little area. And then you won't have it. So just listen to that inner voice. Be aware of that. If you're like, oh, I can't draw feet, or I can't draw a bird's feet, or this or that, that's usually a good sign that you should go back and revisit that. All right, let's get these lips in here. Remember, the left side is going to show more. Because it's 3/4 view. And then right at the edge of the mouth, you'll notice there's a little, it's darker. You see this right here? Boom. So you definitely want to capture that. And it looks like I may have made my chin too wide. So we'll adjust it. I'm going to adjust mine. Gotta go. My husband needs help. Oh, okay, Marianne. Sorry about that. Tell him I said hello. All right, let's get these eyes in place now. And we're going to start off with like an eyeball. And then an eyeball over here. And then I'm going to add a pupil. And I'm going to tone this in just a little bit. I like doing it this way because then I can get my eyes lined up before I add any eyelids or anything like that. All right, let's give her some eyelids here. And all right, so where should we start on this? If I draw a horizontal line, you could see that this starts there, but then the other part of her eye is a little bit below that. Something happened here. Okay, I think we're doing okay now. All right, let's continue on, and I'm just going to add a little bit of curve to her eyelashes here, and I don't want to do every single one. I want to group them together. Her lower eyelid has a slight S curve. And the same one on the other side as well. All right, I'm going to darken in my pupils here because I can't even see her pupils because she's probably has brown eyes. And I'm going to also make sure I tone in the whites of her eyes just a little bit. All right, let's look at her right eye, and I want to look at the shadow, the shape of the shadow the right eye underneath is creating. It's this. Watch what I do here. It's a very, see that, very steep, but yet I want to leave just a sliver of light. Just a sliver of light there. And then the eyelid that's on top, on the right hand side, her eyelid, watch this. Think of, now we already drew this eyeball. So look, this eyelid is like on top of that. Do you see that? This is why I like to draw eyeballs, because then I can very easily see how the eyelid is on top of it. And there is some tone on the inside of that. So I'm just going to drop a little tone there. All right, let's get the other one in now. I'm looking closely at it, and it's kind of coming up short. And there's some tone on the inside as well. And then the same thing is happening with the lower eyelid of that other eye, where it's leaving just a sliver of light. And we want to capture that. Let's get these eyebrows in, huh? These eyebrows are marvelous. So let's use a vertical measurement and to try and determine where the edge is. So all I'm going to do is just drop a straight line and then a straight line over there. So according to this horizontal measurement, the eyebrow is going to start right above the nostril, right about there. You see that? And it's going to end way over there. Okay, I think I can manage that. I'm going to outline first. Okay. All right, now the other one. Let's try to look at that there. Okay, it's not that far removed. Okay. Oh, look at that. Hey, caramba. Okay, now I gotta erase this. Let's get some tone in this, because that seems like all these clues, you know, you add little clues and that helps you to see a little bit better what's going on. So we got some tone there. Let's get some tone up here as well. Okay. I'm going to extend this eyelash just a little bit over there. All right, let's keep going here. Let's get the right side of her face in just a little bit, right? And then I'm going to just add a little tone to the top of her lip. Usually the top lip always has a little bit more tone or value than the bottom lip. And then there's a bit of a shadow underneath the bottom lip. And I'm gonna drop this eyelid. I'm just gonna add some little more value down here to make it look like she's really squinting just a little bit. Just making small adjustments as I go along. Let's shadow the underside of her nose here. And right on the edge here, I'm going to darken it just a little bit. Create that sense of reflective light. So what do I mean by that? Don't draw this, I'll just show it to you up here. Let's just say I have a cylinder here, and the bottom part here is in shadow. Right here where it comes in contact of the light side, you want to darken it just a little bit, and this will create a little bit of reflective light. A lot of times this will show up when you're drawing a nose on the underside of it. Okay. Let's get some value in that nostril right there, and some value in the other side as well. All right, let's take a look at this ear. When I go to draw an ear, there's usually about 3 parts per se. There's the outline part, that's like the letter C. And then you could get also another inside part that's similar to the letter C. Sometimes it could come across as being a question mark. But then the key factor when you're drawing an ear is to look for the letter Y. And I'll show it. Let me point that out to you. It's right here. See that? The letter Y. Believe me, you'll never look at an ear another way. you'll be walking around in public and like, ah, look at that letter Y. Let's get that in, okay? All right. Let's get this earring in here, right? Because that's pretty good stuff right there. I might come back after I get her hair in and add those little pieces, the little shiny spots, because this is like a sun of some sort. Okay. How's everyone doing? Staying with me? We're at 50 minutes here, so now we're at probably the best part. I love her hair. I love the shape of her hair. Okay, so let's find that part. Where's that part? Part's going to be about there. And I'm just looking at the hair outline right now. Okay. Look at that hair outline. Trying to think of like ways I could use a straight and a curved. Oops, we're gonna have to fix that. All right, then you get this beautiful shape, this really strong silhouette. And one thing I'm going to do here to really pop that face off, and this may not work, but I'm going to leave just a little bit of a highlight. It's not in the photograph, but I think it will really help to make this thing pop. I might have to come back in and put that in, but all I'm going to do now is to make sure that I get this in filled in nice and dark. I want this to be a really graphic shape. With a sharp edge. And the same thing up here. I'm going to use my eraser a little bit on my program here to just sharpen my edge just a little bit. I don't like that highlight thing I did. Okay, let's get the other side here. A lot of contrast. Really want to fill in those gaps. Okay. Here's something that is visible here, and that I think that it's worth noting, and you should just put this in your arsenal. In fact, I'm going to add it, is you get these tendons that go from the back of the ear straight down here to the pit of the neck. And let me point them out to you. Because when you're drawing, this is going to show up a lot, and it's really going to help read. So they're right here. You see this? Boom. And there's got one coming right in just like that. You really want to keep your eyes out for those, because you want to use them. Because if you put them in, even if you do it faintly, it just looks right. Your mind is like, oh yeah, I didn't even notice those before, but without them, it looks a little plain. And then she's got this beautiful chain that's coming down. All right. Any questions on that? That brings us up to the top of the hour there. Any other areas here? I think I can even add just a little bit of tone on the side. Oop, maybe that's too much there. Just a little bit of tone over there. Going back in and darkening some of my values where in the picture I could see that they're darker. Here's another little area that I see that you should be aware of. Sometimes the very top of the lip will catch a little bit of a highlight, and watch where I show it to you. It's right here. Now I'm going to remove that and you'll see it. You see that? That's a little something you want to try and bring in if you can. All right. Any other questions here? That brings us up to the hour, and hopefully you learned some things and found that to be helpful. Well, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday night live of our portrait drawing. So I think I'm going to end the stream now and maybe kind of go back in and soften some of my edges. But that's essentially it. So thanks for watching. Shelby and Jamie and Leah for coming in, and Marianne had to drop out early, but I'm so glad that you guys joined me. And to everyone who's going to see this a little bit later, thanks for watching. Do hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Join us for our beginners workshop class if you haven't signed up for that. It's in the description below, and I appreciate you guys watching. Okay, have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye-bye. You are welcome.